What is up, everybody? I'm NoLucksGiven, and today I'm going to be participating in a sealed Solforge Fusion tournament. There's going to be 5 rounds, and if we win 3 out of those 5 rounds, then we get to keep these 4 decks that we are given to play in the tournament. So now we got to figure out which of these decks we are going to use, and I'm definitely going to be playing with this Tempest deck, because I think it's just the best one that I got. It's got a few different cool combat tricks and ways to pump up multiple creatures and make use of some stuff like that. I think the best win conditions in this deck are Fleet Glider, which is just a solid stat line across the board and can get in some nice damage with the mobility as well. And then also Thundersaur. This is really going to be the main card that we are focused on with the deck that I ultimately wound up building. Thundersaur used to be like the rarest card and used to be one of the best cards in Solforge. I think the card's still pretty good and still has a lot of stats and a cool ability and the way to break through and win the game that also synergizes well with a lot of the other stuff. You can see most of the other cards in this deck give creatures plus attack, including the spells as well, and we're going to use all of those as much as we can to pump up our Thundersaur. And I might have actually picked the wrong combination for this, because after round 1, I talked with my opponent, and they really talked a lot on just how powerful this Forgeborn is. Death Touch being possibly the best level 2 spell, they said, and Army Commander at level 4 is just like absolutely game winning. So I maybe could have gone for Cersei. However, I didn't really immediately see all of the synergies with the other cards in the deck, so that's why I didn't wind up picking Necrium. I do know that Lyria is really good, and just didn't really see how it synergized with the Tempest deck, because I think the Tempest deck is very aggressive, and these are like the best things that this deck is doing, trying to level up cards and then beat your opponent with a level up advantage, which I just didn't think was that good with the Tempest deck in particular. There also weren't any ways to summon cards with the Tempest deck if I wasn't picking that Forgeborn, if I was going to use this Forgeborn. So there's not real ways to like destroy your other creatures or have minions that you can replace. And for that reason, I just didn't think this was a great fit. I didn't think the spells were like super good or super bad. Vyric's Embrace is like fine, can push through some damage, can heal you and stuff. And the Ghastly Renewal, I don't think there were scientists in the red deck either. We could double check. But I initially thought I would play this Aloyan list. This list seemed really strong to me. This is just a fine card. Namely, there were, again, a lot of ways to upgrade cards that I thought were really good, and there also were a few gizmos that meant that combining the Necrium deck with the Aloyan deck could have actually been the way to go. But I knew I wanted to play the Tempest deck. I did think Palladium Simulacrum was a good payoff along with the Rider that I showcased earlier. War Machine, not super great though. And then I actually do like some of these spells. I think Heavy Artillery is good, and I think Energy Prison is really good and also provides some additional leveling, and then Aegis Wings being free. I thought this was what I was going to go with. However, what I ultimately decided on here was this Utera deck. The Darkforge Drain can be pretty good. I've seen Darkforge Drain used to pretty good effect in the past. I think Scapeshift is pretty good though, and I don't really care about Growth Aura. We are not trying to get to player level 4 with this deck. We're trying to bring the heat with the Tempest deck, and then using some of this Utera to support that is kind of the idea. Everflow Eidolon does seem like a pretty cool card. It's a little bit tricky to make it work, but we do have one other card with Defender, so it is possible to potentially make use out of it. And it's got reasonable stats, especially when you are spreading those stats across your other creatures as well. Glowhive Siren, I think, is fine. It falls off a little bit, but it's really good on level 1. A 4/8 is a lot of stats, but this card right here, I think is probably the best card in the deck. Roaring Decayosaur. It's a dinosaur, which is going to be important later. We do have one Dinosaur Matters card in the Tempest deck, though, but just really good stats across the board. I think 16, 11 on the Decayosaur, but a 7/5 on the level 1 version. And of course, when we are using these stats to either flip a combat in our favor or pump up a Thundersaur, these stats can go a long way. And Rooted Bartok is another pretty good card in the deck. I mentioned there was one other defender card, so we can get additional stats on this with our Everflow Eidolon, and then just have a bunch of stats on the board. Use this before a Thundersaur for a really big setup. Shifting Hunter is not bad just because of the stat line alone is like pretty solid stats. The ability also does not scale, which can be a good thing. It can mean that we can use it as an underdrop. It's not a great underdrop as a 2/8, but this 10/10/1 is pretty solid and can definitely do some nice things. I thought that Shifting Matriarch was going to be good, but then I saw that your opponent has to have fewer than 3 cards in hand, so this is really tough to capitalize on, and I don't know if I ever play it, to be totally honest. Stag is just fine. Some life gain is okay, some breakthrough is good, but what is good is we've got 3 dinosaurs in the deck. The Matriarch, the Stag, and then the Decayosaur as well, and those are all going to be pretty good with Might of the Herd. And your Herd, this card is one of the main, I mean, giving +3/+3 to Thundersaur is solid, and then giving +3/+3 to Thundersaur and maybe one of your other creatures can just be a lot of power and really tough for opponents to deal with. So that is ultimately why I decided to go with Utera plus Tempest, but let me know in the comments down below if you think one of these other combinations of decks is what I should have gone with. But without further ado, let's get into these matches. Round 1 up on the play, and probably just want to go with the Everflow Eidolon. I should be able to still have it active into next turn. So I think this is fine. I don't really have a great play after this. Maybe I'll be able to make use of the Shifting Hunter. It's a little bit weird of an opening play. Maybe I could, I mean, I don't have, my only other option was to like play the Stag to lead off with. And I feel like that was too easily dealt with. Whenever one of your creatures enters the back row. Okay, that's pretty solid then as well. So I think all I can do is play a Stag here. 8/8 on the second level. I mean, I could just play Shifting Matriarch. It's just so bad as a 1/8. I think I'll just play the Stag. Could play Shifting Hunter too. That lets me get a little bit of damage on this thing, but it wouldn't kill it. Yeah, let's just play this here. Sorry, I missed one of my opponent's plays, but I figure let's get the volume back on. And they just played a 4/2 open. When this is destroyed, if you have the Forge, so now if I go to destroy it, my opponent will have the Forge. That's a little bit awkward. And I'll probably kill this with Roaring Decayosaur, and then maybe I'll make the Breaker pump up this thing, or possibly this thing. An enemy creature loses all printed abilities and gains Defender. I assume they made this lose all abilities, so that's a little bit rough. That's going to mean that I can't do exactly what I need to do. But I think I just used the Decayosaur to pump the Venerable Breaker. And set up for this. It's a little bit awkward to telegraph this so much and to not be able to use the pump. But maybe they'll just think that I messed up because they took this ability out. And I think I just want to play as much cleanup as I can here. And then when I find Thundersaur, then I can go for it. I'll take 4 more damage. Still winning. And getting some trades off. And do I find Thundersaur? I do not. No Thundersaur, but I do have Rooted Bartok. Which is definitely a good start to everything. We'll probably just play Bartok and the Glowhive Siren. Which means I probably just play Bartok first, so that way it can get the pump from the Everflow. Start leveling that up, because those cards are a good combo. Did not draw Thundersaur, but not much I can do beyond that. So, yeah, let's play Bartok and then just activate Eidolon immediately. They're going to play 2/8, which doesn't immediately seem like it's going to be good. Oh, but they played a Defender against my Defender. When you play a spell, drain 2. Okay, so we're just going to trade these cards off with each other. I don't think I need to care about Stormcaller. Both of these are good underdrops. All 3 of these are good underdrops. So let's level up Glowhive and get the Bartok in here, I think. Yeah, this seems good to me. Maybe I should have played that open because it was getting the additional +2/+2. But I want to kill this turn while I have the Forge. So there's a little bit of awkwardness in that design. When you... Oh, destroy another one of your creatures to play a free Botanimate. Okay. Decent. And then they drain me for 2. And we're going to hit them for 8. We are winning right now. But not by that much. So this has an activate to destroy another one of your creatures. Play a spell for free. That's right. We did have that card ourselves. We do grab the Thundersaur here. I don't believe we have any spells in the Banish. We do not. But we might want to start playing a spell. Which would likely be Fit of Rage. We do get to give Thundersaur the +2 from the Eidolon here as well. So I'm thinking like +2 from the Eidolon. Maybe +4 from Fit of Rage. Just all on Thundersaur. We do see that they have the Botanimate leveled up. So I almost want to just go like Fleet Glider. The Darkheart Sorcerer being a little bit annoying here too. Yeah, maybe I just play Fleet Glider, Thundersaur. Doesn't set me up to use my Forgeborn ability ever, but that might just be what it's got to be. So yeah, let's start with this for sure. And we could pump it up and move it over this turn still. I think there's a chance we do that. Get a nice little 7/7. They have the Forge, so they're going to destroy their Indomitable Fiend. That's really good. And then kill off my Wisp and drain me for a whole bunch. Could lead the charge. That doesn't seem to be super relevant. I'm definitely going to take this thing out. And then I think I'm just going to play Thundersaur here. I think this will eventually trade off with this annoying thing. And we're going to pump up the back row. And that's all she wrote. So we'll take out this. We'll have a mobile 7/4. The Indomitable Fiend's going to come back, unfortunately. But we will be able to take it out now. And we can play Glowhive and then play Stegodon. And that gives us a decent amount of stats. And again, I think we've got a block here, even though I don't appreciate losing a bunch of health on the Glow Hive. Because it's going to be a 9-10, but I can't play the Stag to block, and I can't block it any other way, so I think I have to do this. Gaining life is good against some of the ping my opponent has going on, so that's good. And we'll see if they do anything with this, and I've got some flexibility. Okay, I think they're going to do that on the Thundersaur. Could do it on this again, but it won't really do much. Yeah, they're going to do it on Thundersaur. Oh, but it gains Defender, so it actually isn't a huge deal. Oh, maybe they took it back because it gains Defender. Nope, they're still going to go for that. Alright, my plan is definitely move this over, play Stag open, even though it doesn't lead to relevant points here. I think that's still the play. Could also decide to give my dinos +3/+3 and aggressive, but I don't like doing that while Thundersaur doesn't have his abilities. So I think I'm just going to level up another level 2 card and just be happy enough with that. They could be planning, oh, if they gain life, this Batterhide really goes nuts. But I'm not sure I have a way around that. Other than, I guess, just ignoring it to give Thundersaur more stats here this turn instead. And using Might of the Herd. I'm just going to go for this. If they have a way to get the better of me, so be it. I will get to pump up Thundersaur because it drifts backline, so that's cool. I guess they were potentially considering saving the Batterhide for their second play. But they're going to need to play a spell and then trigger their things. That's going to be worthwhile for them. Play a Wisp minion, give it +3/+3. Drain me for 5. So then this is going to get +6/+6. And I'll have to take that out with something else. They're going to take 3. We've got this survive and this survive. And Thundersaur remains non-combative for the moment. That's fine. To be able to hang on to this thing, I think, is good. And they didn't have the Forge, so that's good. Venerable Breaker can take this out and pump the Thundersaur so that it kills this thing. Those are both going to be good numbers. And then Everflow Eidolon, a second one of those, could be reasonable as well. These are currently looking to trade. Oh, I'm going to need more to take out this Kinder Batterhide. Yikes. Okay. And then that's their hero power, right? I don't have a spell, so I don't have the opportunity to make use of my hero power at all, which is definitely a bit of a bummer, but nothing to be done. So 6 +3/+2 is exactly 11. So I'm happy with how a lot of these numbers shake out. My opponent can definitely spin this a little bit. But we're also playing a lot of level 2 cards, which I think is really good, just in terms of having a lot of level 3s in the deck, and hopefully that gives me some good draw opportunities. They might do something to Thundersaur here. They're definitely looking to play a spell, kill the Thundersaur, or like do something disruptive to Thundersaur, and potentially save this. Those are both good plays. Okay, they could destroy this to play a spell for free. It's an activate, right? Okay, yeah, they're going to destroy this one. Now they get to play free mindless zombie, but importantly, they trigger both of their spells and pump Batterhide way, way out of range here. So now I might just be saying, all right, Batterhide's just going to be way too big. I'll block it again in the future. And I need to play my Eidolon. Unfortunately, just didn't draw any spells here, so nothing else to be done. Oh, that's right. These just pump the backline anyways, and this can't be used, so I don't really have any plays beyond this. Put this down to 6. It's not a bad number. Yeah, can't use my ability. Nothing to be done about that. Thundersaur's at 10-9. They have got a 25-6. Pretty scary. Oh, it's a 13-9. I guess that's a little bit better. And probably just going to set up with the rooted Bartok in front of this, and then set up a big Thundersaur. And I can give Thundersaur +6/+6. I might do that to the new Thundersaur, might do that to the old one. Let's check out what their Forgeborn ability is, too. Destroy one of your creatures to give another creature +8/+8. I think it's pretty likely that we see that happen here, but let's make them do it. Let's just try to build a big Thundersaur, that's the whole point. They do have the level 2 Botanimate, so it's not like a Thundersaur can just like totally walk the table. But it will be a really large Thundersaur with double Eidolon and the Bartok bonus. Oh, it won't have double Eidolon. I have the Forge. Okay. Still, it's got the Bartok bonus and the potential that I could hero power it. And it being aggressive is potentially even better. And I could pump it up this turn so that way we destroy this Darkheart Sorcerer. Just because all they have to do is play a single spell and they gain life and their Batterhide is bigger again. We do have a lot of means to pump the Bartok. Oh, but yeah, they're going to do some stuff. So destroy another one of your creatures to make spells free to play from your hand this action step. I would kind of like to take life gain off the table for my opponent, but because they have the Forge, if I play the Thundersaur here, they'll just be able to eat this thing. So I'm going to play Thundersaur here. It's going to get +4/+4. I'm going to activate both of my Eidolons to make it tough for them to outgrow this, but not impossible. And then this takes 7 and then 7. I'm just thinking, do I want to give this +6/+6 right now? I don't think I want to use up my Forgeborn ability. I can use it next turn, and it'll be basically the exact same thing, since I'm not getting up to 12 right now. They can also destroy a creature at any time to give themselves a +8/+8. That doesn't seem horrible here or here. And they might use that on their Blight Witch as well, just to give that more survivability, put that up to a 15/20. Okay, they're going to go Roaring Bear, which is pretty solid, and then I think they're going to sacrifice the Roaring Bear because blocking a Thundersaur does nothing. So they're going to sacrifice that so that they can have free spells. All spells are now free. It sounds like the beginning of the Purge. For one action phase, all spells are now free. Oh, Vine Lash here. Oh, Vine Lash can go across locations? Okay, I thought they were going to Vine Lash like this, so that way their Batterhide stayed alive. They just used it to kill my Thundersaur, which is annoying. But it does mean I'm not just, like, dead here. So I guess that's fine. Guess I got that going for me, which is nice. But I don't seem like I'm in a great position right now. Destroy one. I think they're going to pick up this thing, right? But they can't. What can they make survive? They're just going to give this. Oh, they can make this survive. Okay. All right. It lives another day. The Batterhide is in it. Oh, they undid their turn. They didn't like it. You have the opportunity to undo your turn until a point where your opponent has to make any decisions. Oh. Yeah, no. Now they're going to push for damage, I think. They're just going to have this fight this. Yeah. Okay. That seems smart. Because it makes me almost dead. Puts me down to 7. So that's pretty dang scary. I do still have a Thundersaur in this scenario. But that seems quite scary. I could play the Stag open so that way I gain 5 life. Does feel like Venerable Breaker is going to be the best option here. This lost all abilities. It's still a positive battle. And then they're going to sacrifice it to make spells free. No, they didn't sacrifice it yet. Okay, but they can. I definitely think Venerable Breaker here. Probably pumping the Thundersaur. Oh, are they killing me? If you have a beast in play. Yep. Alright, fair enough. So that is round 1. Got a little bit owned, I think. But some good warm-up experience, to be sure. On to round 2. We'll see if we can have any better luck. Draw some more Thundersaurs, potentially. And get a victory. And there actually is a way I saw to... My last round opponent was telling me there is a way to check out my opponent's deck before we get started here. All of these cards are not super great, like, first plays. Yeah, let me go on the website here and bang. Okay, now I can load up my opponent's deck and see if there's any other interesting things to see. So I think what I'm going to want to do is play the Everflow Eidolon and then probably, like, pump it up with the Colossus. I think that's probably going to be the play. I could also go for Siren first, but I think this is fine and gives away, like, I'm probably going to play this, and it seems tough to deal with regardless. So yeah, let's just go for it. And yeah, I can see now my opponent is playing a Necrium Aloyan list. I've just got it on the side of the screen here. They start off with a group meal, which lets you play a zombie and then upgrade a card in your discard pile for each zombie that you have. Of course, that was their first zombie. And the level 3 version lets you play a card for free. That doesn't seem like that good of a card. Not super scary. So could just go Glowhive here. I think that's going to be the play. Yeah, let's go with that. Nice little 4/8 to kick things off, and sure, I'll just activate for no reason. And what was that? Looks like another spell. Oh, an Electronet. Choose an enemy creature. If that creature has increased its attack, this is free. Give the chosen creature -5 attack. So I just lost my Glow Hive there. This is looking to... yeah, I mean, we can just give it a little bit of a pump, and it's solid. Destroy this to give one of your creatures +5 attack. So that could also wind up happening. And they've got Drix, which is activate, play a Gizmo. That's a little bit annoying. I think it means I will have to replace this Glow Hive here. I could replace it with the Uranti Heartseeker, and then we positive battle. That's not terrible. And then the only other question is, do I play Fleet Glider open? Or do I play Rooted Bartok here first? And I might go Rooted Bartok into Uranti Heartseeker. I think that's going to be solid, actually. Yeah, let's just plan on this. And we'll see what they have here. Yeah, they're going to pump up this with a Gizmo. This guy does not seem that good. I guess it's pretty solid on level 2, though. That's where they're looking to take over a bit. I definitely want to get this Drix off the table right now, so let's clean that up. And then let's do some activations. We're going to pump up this thing again, so that way we take out this guy. We're going to take 9, but we clear 2 of my opponent's cards pretty well. And next turn I have the Forge, so I'll be able to block the Steadfast Assassin. Couldn't even block it this turn anyway, so wasn't a huge sense in playing there. And now I've got Thundersaur and the ability to go like Roaring Decayosaur on Thundersaur. That's probably going to be the play. Just have to decide if I'd ever want to... Oh, this has got stealth. Oh, wow, they've got a lot of stealth. I did not realize that. So I will have to deal with the Portal Shade actually here. Oh, that's awkward. Okay. Okay, that's a little bit more annoying than I thought. I'm definitely playing Thundersaur. Probably playing Thundersaur, Roaring Decayosaur. Yeah. Okay, yeah, definitely a little bit annoying. Let's, I guess there's no sense in using this now. I could use this now in case they're gonna find a way to kill it. This is +2/+2. Yeah, so I'll just plan on doing this to Thundersaur, I think. Maybe that gives away... Maybe it's bad to do that early. Yeah. Let's just do this. I can do this, though, freely. That's fine. Yeah, missed that this card also had stealth. Makes sense. It's just a big shadow. This doesn't have stealth. What does? Play a Gizmo and then upgrade. So they've got a pretty well upgraded deck. We're just trying to get by with a little Thundersaur action. Get by with a little help from our Thundersaurs. This is a nice Thundersaur to start off, though. A 7/11 going into level 2. Gotta hope that can do it for me. And this Scout, if they're looking to replace, is just going to be a trade. But they might be looking to trade off with this because, like, you do have to kill this card eventually, or it just represents a ton of damage. However, I am going to have to replace my Eidolon eventually. And the fact that I've leveled up 2 different cards with Defender is kind of a trap because they've leveled up 2 cards with Stealth. So that could very well bite me before I'm able to bite them with the Thundersaur. Gloomweeper Hag also going to hit me for 3. And I've got no cards here that aren't spells. Dang. This doesn't have decreased health. Nope. Yeah, it destroys one of their creatures. I figured the Necrovive could be coming, and I was already thinking this Eidolon is on its way out. Okay, and they're going to eat this to pump up this. But literally all I have is the Eidolon. So I think all I can really do here is double pump the Thundersaur and then give it an additional +4/+4 with my Forgeborn ability and then try to race my opponent. But that seems pretty sketchy. Giving both of my creatures +3 attack or giving this +6. Which is better? Yeah, like I said, I kind of don't even want to set this up because then I'm just asking them to play a new stealth card. I'm definitely going to play the Druid's Chant here, but I don't know what my other play is this turn. I guess I'll play the Eidolon. Oh, wait. Playing 2 spells allows me to make better use of this. Right. Alright, let's do this. We're going all in on Thundersaur. Yep, they had a stealth card as well. We will be able to try to block that stealth card next turn, but for right now, we're just doing Thundersaur things. 1424. Please be good enough. They do have a level 2 Electronet that they'll be able to play for free sometimes. That gives -10 attack. And I'm currently at 13. So this is not looking insane for me. It's got to be the Sparking Worm to take out this guy. And then I really don't have any means to take out the Steadfast Assassin. So I'm just going to block it and pump up the Thundersaur. 1 damage to all other creatures also pumps up the Thundersaur. That's kind of cute. Oh, I can use this to pump itself and clear the Steadfast Assassin. Alright, that's what I gotta go for then. Alright, 1523. Please just be enough. Can kill my opponent in 2 hits. They can also sacrifice this Portal Shade to give, like, something blocking Thundersaur additional attack. Not sure if that really does enough. But if they have ways to clear this off, since I have the Forge, that could be a really scary thing. I think I'm going to play for the clear, considering I can't kill this next turn. Meaning this card represents lethal against me next turn. Alright. They have something they can possibly just win. Seems like probably just win. Alright, that's going to be Electronet on Thundersaur. I did think about pumping up the Thundersaur. Oh, and then that was free. So they do get 1 additional play here as well. That doesn't totally take out the Thundersaur, though. Okay, yeah, I figured that's going to be one of these 2 things. Yeah, they can beat me here by just activating this and giving this +8. So, yeah, have to imagine that's going to happen. And we're dead. Alright, didn't work out again. I've got to win the next 3 games in order to keep this deck. It doesn't look like it's happening, but we're going to give it our best shot. On to round 3. Things are definitely getting down to the wire. At this point, I have got to win every single game to try to keep these decks. A lot on the line here. Just doing it for maximum drama, of course. And, oh, I also meant to load up my opponent's deck. Looks like I've got it. I've got something up on the screen here. I've got a Necrium Tempest deck. Probably should click the thing that says... like there's a button you can click and then both players just reveal their decks. Probably should have just clicked that at some point, but... yeah, Koruk is the Forgeborn in one of these, so I think I'm on the right page here. Do they have Demolish? Yep. Ooh, Master. When you play another mage, make a Spell Sprite. Seems like the way I drew my cards, I have to play Shifting Hunter and then play Abetting Colossus in front of the Arrogant Master. I don't love it. But the level 2 Shifting Hunter is fine. I mean, I just don't have any other plays drawing my cards in some wacky orders. I think it's like kind of on par for this deck, though, just because the cards are a little all over the place. But plan is just Abetting Colossus in front of the Master, pumping up the Hunter most likely for the second half of the turn. And I think getting the 10-10 in the deck is reasonable compared to some of the stats of some of these other cards, so... it's a little bit awkward because the ability doesn't scale, but the actual card does scale. Oh, looks like they don't have a great play here either. Are they going to be destroying their Master? Okay, they're not going to be making that play. That makes some sense as well. Maybe they thought this was whenever you played a spell. And you may destroy another creature to give this some stats. So we could use the Venerable Breaker to pump up the Shifting Hunter to be like a really solid card that sticks around here. You know what? Let's go for it. Because this won't quite put us over the hump. So let's just keep a 7-6 on the table and trade off in the center lane. This card still is good after it levels. It falls off, to be sure, but it's still a fine enough card. We'll probably lead off with Fleet Glider here, and then potentially play Thundersaur. But if I want to get more aggressive, I'll consider one of these other options. Could have played a spell to level up my Forgeborn ability as well last turn. Yeah, I have to think about that like just any early game spell is a +2/+2 later on. Because it spells in your, it spells in your banished pile. As opposed to your discard. Alright, we're definitely taking the damage. We can undo that damage with the Glow Hive, but I want to get Thundersaur online, even if it's not super relevant here. And then I'll just keep the Glider center. That's fine. The fact that they had to play the Stormcaller makes me feel like my deck is possibly a little bit better than theirs. Grimgaunt Predator makes a return. When this damages a player, destroy up to one level 1 enemy creature. All right, well, I don't have an answer to that. Oh, I do. I can move over the glider. Okay, thank goodness. Because that would have been really awkward otherwise, because my opponent now has the Forge. So, would have been really scary. But I think we're going to be all right. And I will probably go Rooted Bartok plus Roaring Decayosaur setting up. That should be pretty good for me. And the Roaring Decayosaur looking to pump the Thundersaur. Is this the card that says when it dies? Yeah, when it's destroyed, upgrade a level 1 card in your discard pile. If I wait and destroy this next turn, it doesn't get any ability. So that's pretty tempting. So I think I'm going to do that. And I'm going to lead off here with Rooted Bartok. I could just move this thing over. Grimgaunt Predator no longer has movement. Had movement in the old game. We're always moving this over, right? But I think we just don't give my opponent any unopposed locations. That seems fine too. And yeah, say go. And then the Roaring Decayosaur, that's going to pump up the Thundersaur, obviously. While getting pumped up by the Bartok. And I feel like I'm on the aggressive here. Okay, they're going to get to play a spell for free. And that's going to be a Conflagrate on this and me. 2 damage each of up to 2 creatures and or players. Yeah, so I think they hit me and my center guy. But this is fine. We're going to move this here. We're going to Decayosaur. And then we're going to pump up Thundersaur. And I feel like I'm kind of crushing it right now. All right. We're going to positively battle here. We're going to keep alive this upgrade card so my opponent does not get a level advantage going into player level 2. And we've also got the lead in life points. This is looking good. Roaring Decayosaur on the Thundersaur seems cool. No opportunity to use my Forgeborn power. There is a little bit of an awkward thing. Maybe I will replace the Rooted Bartok here since I've got the Forge. Could also just play the Shifting Hunter right now. I also kind of don't hate just Fleet Glider here as a 9/9 mobility too. I think that might actually be the play. And then Roaring Decayosaur and just keep the Shifting Hunter as a potential underdrop down the line. Could also play the Glowhive Siren, but I'm going to run out of space. So I think I will just replace this to start off with, and then probably play the Decayosaur against the Ossuary Mech on the second half of the turn. I should view my opponent's ability, destroy an enemy creature with decreased health. So they've got options. That's definitely a really solid ability. But we're bringing on the aggressive. I think that this Glider is one of my best cards to just be able to consistently push through damage. Ooh, Firestorm, which will also allow them to... I don't know if it allowed them to upgrade this. No, looks like not. Right, because they just played that. But they will now be able to finish off my Thundersaur with their Forgeborn ability. We'll be able to move my Glider over and then pump it up with the Roaring Decayosaur, so that's fine. But we definitely lost a lot of momentum with that play. $12-8, still solid. Let's see if it can get it done. Smacking for about half their health here. These are going to trade off, and we're just going to hit them for 7 instead. Yeah, 19 plus 19 is 38, right? So that would have been half their health. Instead, that's all she wrote. We do find the Thundersaur here now, and it's Thundersaur without the Forge. Could be Thundersaur plus Might plus Forgeborn ability. That is looking like it will probably be the play, just to give Thundersaur little +5/+5. Might not use this right away, but I have to imagine we're going to go for Might of the Herd. Could block the Yeti. So let's see, we'd hit it for 3 and then we'd hit it for 7. I think that's probably appropriate, rather than just open lane this guy. Hopefully Might of the Herd works as a good combat trick on the Decayosaur. Oh, I'll also get to give Thundersaur aggressive, but that won't really matter. Okay, a 9/7 Thundersaur is, or a 9/7 Yeti is actually a little bit annoying. Oh, but they're going to move it. Oh, cool. All right, I actually appreciate that. Deploy, give another creature +4, and mobility, give adjacent creatures. Oh, give creatures adjacent to this +4, but that already happened. Right, so they're just going to smack in for a bunch of damage. I could do something like using the Everflow Eidolon or the Uranti Heartseeker now instead. I think that's actually better. No, Dinosaur's getting +3/+3 is good enough. And it'll give the Thundersaur aggressive. Because it's actually another +2/+2, which is what I think I have to consider here. But I'm not sure if I use it right now or if I wait until next turn to use it. I think I'm just going to use it right now for just a little +2/+2 on Thundersaur. They're hitting me for 10. I'm hitting them for 15, down to 16. It's pretty close to representing lethal, whereas they seem pretty far away from cracking back on me. So I think I've got the tempo advantage right now. Stormcaller is good because it's a nice little trade, but I do think I probably want to play Bartok. And then there is the opportunity to play Stegodon unopposed. I think I will probably go for the Chant, though. I don't know, Bartok plus playing a creature seems pretty solid. But if I like Chant, give this Breakthrough, and then potentially Fit of Rage both of them. It makes me feel bad that I used my ability, but I can give both of these guys +7 and Breakthrough. So that's a total of 17 + 12. Yeah, this is what I'm thinking right now. We're going to give this thing Breakthrough. And let's see how close that gets us. We're at 21, so they have to block for more than 5. I mean, this is how the deck wins. It just makes a big Thundersaur. That's the whole point. So if I've got the Thundersaur, let's let it roar, baby. I'm not sure how many ways, if any, they have to deal with this Thundersaur. They could potentially play like a Grimgaunt Predator or something, but we have the Forge. This is like basically nothing. Yeah, I just feel awkward that I used my hero power, but it did deal an extra 2 damage last turn, even if it's then going to deal 4 less damage this turn. It gets pretty even, like it's only 2 less in total. Alright, Stormcaller, the fact that this thing has no health is perfect. I'm going to take 7 here. And we're hitting them for 10 with this. This seems a little bit risky. But let's get both of my creatures +4, and now they have to block this for 11. Okay. They're going to drain me. That's actually pretty useful, because they were not using that other card. That's only 10. Nope, they're going to take 5 here and 14 here. That's lethal, baby. GG's. All right, that was a good one. Finally, Thundersaur gets the victory. We are up against a wall, but I think this is where I do my best work here. Up against a Tempest Aloyan list that doesn't seem to have any removal. Don't know the best way to throw this on screen, but we'll see the cards as they come out here. And we'll see if we can make something good happen. See if we can make a nice big ol' Thundersaur. Not yet we can't, but without the Forge and then some good setup cards, I think, with the Everflow Eidolon and Roaring Decayosaur. It's not going to mean that we have like a great next turn, because we won't be able to pump up things with Everflow Eidolon then. But it's at least a start. My opponent has the Raging Worm. And looks like they just dealt 5 damage to each of us. Yeah, okay, that's really interesting. So they are definitely on the aggressive here, which means I might just want to do this. And actually, I can make this survive with Roaring Decayosaur. So I guess I will, huh? Yeah, let's just block. I think that's a good enough use of this card. And then Roaring Decayosaur will allow it to survive with... Ooh, they're going to move. They're going to move the Raging Worm. Well, that's fine. I'm going to take out the Arrogant Caller. And I'm just going to take 8. Feels a little bit of a waste, but didn't have too many other better plays. And now I'm hoping to draw Thundersaur, as always. Could just draw Thundersaur and give it additional stats with Druid's Chant. But I think I like Fleet Glider as well. So I might just go for that. Also, the Steg is not terrible, but I think the plan is just Thundersaur for the trade in 2. But I guess this keeps me flexible by leading with this. So yeah, let's start there. Could definitely see just wanting to gain health. Druid Chant does also gain health, so that was maybe a reason to consider it. I forgot that the level 3 Druid's Chant is actually... Oh no, you have to have more than 30 health. That's pretty doable though, right? And then this is Stealth, which means, yeah, they got me. They have another Stealth card against me here. And give this +2 attack for each creature in play with armor. So it's a little bit of a bummer. I can't move the Fleet Glider over either. So I think I'm just playing Thundersaur, and that's all she wrote, unfortunately. Definitely want to get Thundersaur in here and leveled up, and I want to be blocking. Maybe I could have played Thundersaur to replace, but I don't know. Give one of your creatures +5. Oh, that's brutal. That's really brutal. Let me just reread Digitize here. If it's your only creature, it also gains. So the thing is, like, they haven't leveled up the best cards, maybe. This is good. Shifting Hunter is really, really good on the board. It allows me to kill this, and it trades positively here. So Shifting Hunter, I think, is going to be a really solid part of this game plan. Plus, I'll get to pump up the Shifting Hunter. Okay, that's a bummer, but it's fine. I don't think I want to do the Shifting Hunter just yet. I think I might want to play the Uranti Heartseeker, and I will probably hold off on using this ability, but I will be using it. But let's just start off with this. I think that's going to be good enough. And they have to expect that I'm going to pump this and then just move it over, so they might be looking to clear this no matter what. Just realized I was in a voice chat and my mic was not muted, but my opponent wasn't in the voice chat. Okay, so they give themselves the ability to move. Give another one of your creatures +3 attack this turn. It gains mobility 1. They could have done that on this, but they did not. So I'm actually going to dodge. That's interesting that they moved over. Huh. Well, this is actually a weaker card. It's kind of interesting. Yeah, I guess I'd rather just these two things trade off then. They're just giving me the ability to do that. So I guess I'll just do that. Awkwardly, if I want to pump up the Shifting Hunter, I have to do it before we have these things fight. So it's not really like a great way around all of this. So I think I will just activate this now. And you know what? I actually will just keep around this thing. Because I'd rather have a 3/7 than a 2/8. This'll battle and trade, this'll battle and trade, and then this'll battle and eat. So we're kind of eating here. We're tied up on health. But I've got 2 creatures up against my opponent's current 0. Let's take a look at the Forgeborn ability. Give your creatures +2 attack. This turn they get aggressive. Probably going to go for a center Fleet Glider and then probably Shifting Hunter. Let's discard. Sorry, I meant to look at Banish. I didn't play any spells yet, right? Yeah, no spells. Just 6 creatures. Alright. Let's kick things off with the Fleet Glider then. 9/9. And then a 10/10 Shifting Hunter. On the play, I think that this is like a pretty aggressive start. If they do any sort of chumping, we're good. And then we could also just Might of the Herd, but I don't think I want to do that. I have my 2 best spells in my hand, which means I'm probably just going to have to hold on till next player level to really get aggressive. But I can get in some nice chip damage here in the meantime, and if I draw Thundersaur, potentially take over with that on like 3.1. So that's kind of the game plan right now. What does this guy do? If an enemy player gained health this turn, give this additional attack. So I don't really have that. I could use the Venerable Breaker to swing this fight. I do like that. This is not a dinosaur. It doesn't get big enough with just this, and it can't pump itself. So I think I am going to go Venerable Breaker and pump up my other Yeti, actually. This will be my last play of the turn, so I think I'm going to move this more center. Breaker, Breaker, and battle. Not allowing them to just get like a free trade here is just okay. Like I could still hit Eidolon next turn or something, and that just eats this up for free with the armor. I imagine they're probably going to eat up this glider for free, or this, maybe have a reasonable trade with this, unless they drew really terribly. Nope. Alright, and is that 3 damage to me, or 3 damage to a creature or player? It doesn't have any good targets, though, so they really did just not draw well at all. And they weren't able to make use of their +2 attack and aggressive either. I think they dealt damage to me because they did not damage either of my creatures there. So this is good. Roaring Decayosaur and Uranti Heartseeker are going to allow me to keep bringing the pressure with these gliders. And this can move into any space on the board. So I basically have a guaranteed 16 damage, which is a lot. Which is definitely a lot. I think we just play this here, and this keeps me pretty dang open. I could also lead the charge on it to activate it again, but I do think I will probably play the Decayosaur. Only question is, am I going to be blocking this 12-3? And I probably am going to move my Fleet Glider 1 into the Arrogant Caller, because that's a nice way to finish that off. But I could use Lead the Charge, which gives me... It actually gives me a little bit more stats even than you'd initially realize. Okay, looks like they might move this to kill my Uranti. That would be a decent play from them. What I'm thinking is, by readying this, I get the +4 from this again, and then I also get an additional +2 out of my Forgeborn ability if I were to use that next turn. Alright, if they're going to dodge, I might have to respect that, and... Oh, they're not going to do that. They're going to move this over here. I'll win that fight with the Roaring Decayosaur, I believe. Yeah, they get a few options, but I think that a lot of these options still seem pretty good for me. I do feel like they have to move this guy here, so that way I can't just kill it off with my Fleet Glider. And then I do believe I'm just going to dodge this thing. It's got mobility 2, which means I won't be able to answer it next turn. But I just don't feel like it makes that much sense to not hit my opponent for a bunch of damage here. Maybe that's wrong, though. I could actually move this over. Oh, okay, hold on. I could move my Fleet Glider here, then move this guy here for a positive battle, give it some additional attack with the Heartseeker, and then just give this thing +3/+3. So I've got a 12/12 mobility 2. That should be pretty tough to catch as well for them. I think that's good. Do have to decide. I could give this +3/+3, and then I get in a little bit more damage. I get in 1 more point of damage. So is it better to have a... 6, 4. No, it would have more than that. This would be a 6, 6. A 6, 6 isn't super impressive. It does still have mobility. Alright, I'll go for more damage push here then. And I'll just go for the 6-on-6 action there. Hit my opponent for 13 down to 12. That feels pretty good. Trade off these 2 cards so that I don't take 16. And then I keep alive a 6-6, a 13-9, and a Uranti, which can also potentially push for lethal in its own capacity. It's probably just going to be Thundersaur. Thundersaur isn't that aggressive. I want to put the pedal on the floor right now. I did say though Thundersaur on the rank up is really scary, and I would be able to give it +4 attack with my Uranti, which gives me, I think, really solid inevitability. The only question then is, do I Bartok on the Thundersaur, or is that giving up too much tempo? They block this and this, and then we hit them with this, this, and this. That is just lethal. this, and this is also lethal. But I kind of want to just apply the pressure. Okay, and they're giving me victory. They just don't have it, and I don't have to think it through. Fair enough. I think that's fair play from my opponent there. Not like a terrible concession, and saves us all a little bit of time. So we've got one more round, and if we can win it, then we will end with a positive record. Here it is for all the marbles, our final game, and unfortunately, our final opponent has a Dreadbolt, so we're not going to be able to go off with the level 1 Thundersaur, but maybe we'll be able to go off with the level 2 Thundersaur if my opponent doesn't level their Dreadbolt. So that's kind of what I'm banking on here. Yeah, if we just like go for the Thundersaur immediately, we'll definitely give them means to, or like a reason to level up their Dreadbolt. But, I mean, I'm going to play the thing. Card's going to get in play. So, Thundersaur, I feel like I play the Abetting Colossus here second. And just, like, don't block whatever my opponent's next card is. It's a little bit awkward because I'm definitely setting myself up to get 2 for 1. The other option would be the Sparking Worm and keeping the Abetting Colossus underleveled, which I actually don't hate. And Sparking Worm to just like spark the Thundersaur is also kind of cute. Then the other option is just play Thundersaur as a trade on the Gloom Reaper Hag, and that way I'm not letting any damage get through. Could play Sparking Worm second, or Sparking Worm first, Thundersaur second. That seems worse, though. Let's just go here. Gives me the option of Sparking Worm or Abetting Colossus as my second play, and if my opponent does something crazy, then I could go for the Shifting Matriarch. I'm not a huge fan of it, because it's really tough to get this condition, but a 9/11 is strong, and if you can ever get the final level off, a 1916 is a pretty good reward. But I think you're really just playing it for the 1310. In all honesty. Alright, and they're going to play a Steadfast Virtuoso. And this is plenty tempting. Sparking Worm is fine. I mean, I guess it's just a matter of which we'd rather level. And honestly, I'd rather level the Colossus. Sets my opponent up for a juicy Dreadbore, but I think it's the way I want to go. I'm going to take 4, pump up a Thundersaur, or Dreadbolt. Dreadbolt is what I meant to say. Really makes a Dreadbolt look enticing here. Could start to play some other dinosaurs, but then I'm really asking to get Dreadbolted. So I think I just play the Rooted Bartok and block here, and then pump up, like, probably the Roaring Decayosaur, but maybe something different. There's a really tricky balance between not wanting to level up spells. I mean, Might of the Herd is a good spell, but, like, not wanting to get 2 for 1, especially, but then wanting to get some utility out of my Forgeborn ability. Should see what my opponent's Forgeborn ability is. Ooh, Enhance is a really good one. That's really good for smoothing out draws. So I think I might just go Decayosaur. I think it's my best card. Battles well here. Battles well with others. And then continue to pump up the Thundersaur. This is where the Dreadbolt would come out, if they have it. A 5/14, starting to look pretty scary. And that is going to be a replace with the Gizmo, giving them a hibernating Moeba. Moeba? I don't know how to say that, but we're doing pretty well on the board. We are maintaining really good tempo pressure to the point where my opponent is in quite an awkward position. Stormcaller not quite enough to take out the Moeba, though Stormcaller plus Everflow Eidolon will be enough. And I just won't play any life gain cards. I'll just use them to like go over the top later on. Yeah, this Eidolon is going to be really solid for me. They will get to make one mindless zombie, but that's fine. Let's Stormcaller, make them take 3. Yeah. And then I love not having the Forge here. That's going to... Oh, and if they don't level up the Dreadbolt... Okay, yeah, they had to play the Dreadbolt. They just had to. So Dreadbolt is leveled. That's definitely worth keeping in mind. We'll trade off all of these things, hit my opponent for 7, taking the lead. Though they will get a mindless zombie here, I believe, because of this trade. Yep. So that's going to give them a 3-3. That lines up really nicely against my 3-7. So I will be looking to pump up my dinosaurs. And Might of the Herd plus Thundersaur does seem really, really good. I mean, they could have their Dreadbolt for sure, which is awkward. We're giving them the entire level to potentially find their Dreadbolt. But I do think I want to save this while pumping up the Thundersaur at the same time. Yeah. This has got to be the play. And then I'll start to play a spell. That way maybe next turn I could give this +4/+4 if I play another spell. My opponent can play a Mega Gizmo, and they could have upgraded the Dreadbolt too. So I guess we were never totally out of it. So we're just going to have to play some solid Solforge for now. Alright, Virtuoso. That's going to make for a trade in... Or not a trade. It's going to make for a loss eventually, but I don't have to deal with it right this second. Let's just get Mighty. And even if I give this aggressive, it won't do anything. But I'm just going to go here. Could have also given this Breakthrough. But I think this is all good enough. It's really just about how much damage this Thundersaur can do. Okay, they're going to pump this and shrink the Thundersaur. I mean, I think that's the play. Basically takes the Thundersaur out, which is awkward, but we'll have other ways to pump it. I don't think you can have negative attack in this game. I think the lowest attack you can have is 0. Drawing Eidolon level 2 next turn would put this up to 5. Still not enough. So we're just going to have to trade a whole card for this. Oh, they might be considering using their Gizmo. Using their ability here. Nope, they're still going to go for this. So I think it's pump this, shrink this. Yep. This goes down to 0. These get to trade off. So we're applying no pressure to my opponent right now, which is not good. We do get some nice pickups here, though, in the form of Rooted Bartok and a Betting Colossus. A Betting Colossus can send this over the top, and Rooted Bartok can give us a 11-9. Actually, a 13-9. It's like reasonable, not great. Sparking Worm can start the thunder rolling. I think Bartok might just be blocking here. Yeah, it seems like a good block. That's what we did last time too, right? Trying to think. It's like just under if we give this +2. So I think we just have to go Rooted Bartok. I don't really plan on using this. Okay, they're gonna try to block or trade with the Thundersaur in 2, probably. Oh, loses all printed abilities and gains Defender. Well, the fact that it moves to the back line is somewhat reasonable, because now it means we can pump it up with the Eidolon. But it's really not great. But I don't see any real way around this. Yeah, it's a good answer to Thundersaur for sure. But I think I just have to make a big Colossus here. Make these cards trade. And lose the Thundersaur. I guess I could have made these 2 cards trade. But this isn't like a priority. I could still no. Yeah, it's just not worth it. Alright, I take 3, and my opponent has the lead again. And we're about even on the board, so not looking great. Can activate the Eidolon twice. Doesn't really do much for me. Oh, I can Pyre Song this. Okay, that's really good. Pyre Song plus activating my ability is definitely my second play. So then my just playing Everflow Eidolon is like a setup card. Beyond that, I think so. Could also give this +3. Yeah, we're definitely going for the Pyre Song. That's really good. And then that puts a second spell into my banish pile. I think so. Okay, well, I think it's my second spell in my banish pile. A little bit of bugs here is expected. My opponent did have 1 stealth card, and I haven't drawn it yet. So that kind of makes me a little bit weary to... I'm trying to look on the website here at their deck list. I think they had a stealth card, right? Yeah, I guess it was this Spirit Forge Sentinel, or maybe... I mean, they do. I see it. It's in their deck. Can't remember if they played it or not. I guess this is fine regardless. It feels a little bit awkward with the Forge to, like, not be applying the pressure at all. Maybe I keep the Everflow Eidolon as, like, a surprise play later. And for right now, I just Pyre Song them. Wait, what? Wait. Destroy an enemy creature with decreased health. Oh, because its original stats are above... Oh, so it doesn't have decreased health. Oh, shoot. Oh, that's a bummer. Alright, I guess I just gotta play this then. Yeah, I could have played the Glow Hive, and that could have gotten up to 7, but that still wouldn't have been enough. Would have been enough to make this decreased, but I couldn't have done that this turn anyways. So that's awkward. Oh, I meant to play the Glowhive first, but I guess I was always playing this next. So it's not a huge deal. Yeah, it just feels kind of terrible taking my foot off the brakes here. Or putting my foot on the brake. But I don't think there's anything else I can do other than try to deal some damage to my opponent with this. If they just have a Dreadbolt here, I think I lose. So let's hope they don't. I'm going to have to play a lot of cleanup next turn while they have the Forge. Yep, there's the Dreadbolt. So I think I probably lose. Because of Pyre Song not exactly working like I thought it did. So this is still an undamaged creature. I do get to give all of my cards that I play this turn an additional +3 attack. So Thundersaur with +3, and then Bartok to give it another +8. I think this is actually doable. I think I can actually make a huge Thundersaur. If my opponent does not draw Dreadbolt, then I think I can actually do something nice here. Which is just a massive, massive Thundersaur. Yeah, this is going to eat this, but that's fine. And I probably want the least amount of damage on my Thundersaur, so I probably go Bartok for the trade. And then Thundersaur here. And maybe I drew lucky enough to actually get out of this. Ooh, there's the Dreadbolt. There's the Dreadbolt. That's actually great for me, because now they don't have the Dreadbolt for the Thundersaur. So I will probably block this now, but it's going to get +8, so it shouldn't matter. And I'll use this ability later. I can give something +6/+6. I'm going to take a bunch of damage here, but I'm setting up a massive unanswerable Thundersaur. And they have to play without the Forge this turn. Stormcaller can trade here. Might of the Herd could maybe do something big, and also something else gets to be a dinosaur, maybe. Glowhive Siren. Is a trade, and Stormcaller is a trade. And I think I'm just going to give this card +6/+6 with my hero ability and hope they can't answer it. 7 damage is a lot of damage at some point, too. I think we're just starting off... Oh, I do have the Forge. I could maybe play Stormcaller open and then block this thing with a Glowhive Siren. No, you know what? Let's block this with Glowhive, I think. Could also gain more health. Give one of your creatures aggressive. Yeah, that's not really helping right now. We just have to hope this kills them in 2 shots, and then I've got to just block the Virtuoso. I'll find a way to finish it off, I believe. But maybe I do just want to go Stormcaller here first. So if that's the play, let's just do this. Let's just start with that block and then finish and hope they can't shrink the Thundersaur's attack by too much. But Stormcaller here is a trade I think is good. They will probably take 7, and then I'll give Thundersaur +6/+6. I think that's got to be it. One of the sweatiest games for sure as the final game. Things are definitely heating up. I also just noticed on last turn that there is a turn timer. I don't know if I've ever gotten close to hitting it, but it doesn't feel like it so far. When a creature is destroyed by this, play a zombie brute, so they're just blocking nothing there because they can't block the Stormcaller on that, or the Thundersaur with that. Yes. If they let me play Might of the Herd or Druid's Chant, seems really good for me. They're not going to let me. And then I think I'm going to give Thundersaur +6/+6 and hope that this doesn't backfire. This almost made me like want to just open lane the Stormcaller, and that might have been correct. But I'm really just banking on them not having a Thundersaur answer. Which is basically all this deck is ever hoping to do. Hope that your opponent doesn't have a Thundersaur answer. Playing a mindless zombie minion, was that their hero power? Yes. So that's not their play. They're just trying to... Okay, they're making a big batter hide, and... Oh! They backline my Thundersaur. That's really awkward. At least we're going to trade here, but now they have the Forge, which could be pretty scary. But I think we're just going to be able to do, like, Venerable Breaker and a Betting Colossus and just smack my opponent for more damage than they can hit me for. And we don't have the Forge, which means my opponent has to block for a bunch here. Whew, this is really, really, really scary. But I think we show my opponent that this is lethal, and then we give it 7 more, and we hope that that can go over the top. I want to block here. Whew. All right. Can they block for more than 7? Wait, 8. This puts them down to exactly 0, right? 42. Yep, it does. Wow. Okay, there's Thundersaur. Get in there, baby. 34. Whew, what a sweaty game. We're going to take 21 here, but we're going to put my opponent down to exactly 0. Every single point mattered, and that is Solforge Fusion. This was really, really fun, and I'm happy that I was able to get a positive win rate despite a shaky start. Thundersaur was able to pull through. That's going to be it for me. Thank you guys very much for watching. I'm NoLucksGiven. Peace.